Back.
Welcome back. All right. We got everybody? Looks like we got everybody. So, okay. Tanner, I know you said that you were going to miss, just for clarity, the next couple games.
No, I said I probably be able to make it.
Just in case you may not make it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Getting some double audio.
All right. Give me 1 second. I can see what I can do.
Double. That actually sounds better, huh?
I think so.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep.
You still getting double audio?
Not from what I can hear.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so we are going to dive straight in. And does anybody feel generous and want to give the rundown of last game to Tanner? You just want me to do it.
I could take a crack at it.
Crack away.
So basically what happened was we were traversing the Dark Lake, getting the hell out of Dodge from Slew Blue Dop and big old beastie boy Prince of Darkness. And we came across some rather nasty-looking, manta-ray-looking creatures that turned out to be surprisingly friendly. We managed to make it to what was kind of like the beginning of a sluice gate leading towards Slew Blue Dop, or not Slew Blue Dop, Gracklestug. Apologies. We managed to make it to what was a sort of like a waterway passageway towards Gracklestug.
Lock and Dam?
Yeah, Lock and Dam. And we were able to not really traverse, we were able to sort of negotiate a passage by, and the price was doing that was essentially throwing Anna Ray and her group under the bus by informing them that that was the last time that they saw a couple of specific Druid guard that was apparently had gone AWOL.
Don't undersell yourselves. You guys drew them a map too. You told them where they were at and drew them a map to Anna Ray's garden.
You guys are assholes.
You sent a kobold and a rogue in to negotiate, and you expected anything else.
I think it went pretty well.
Yeah, and there wasn't even any moral quandary. It's like, these people are missing. Do you know where they're at? Oh yeah, they're over here. Here's a map. Punch him in the face twice for me. Fuck that guy.
Personally, I think it's because Anna Ray refused to sleep with Sung, but that's just my opinion.
Oh, that makes sense.
But
I love her scoring it.
But we managed to make it past the first gate, and we were just in the middle of floating in the water when all of a sudden, apparently what looks to be Drow pirates seem to be encroaching upon us. And
awesome.
We have reason to believe that they may belong to Ilvara and her squad. But that's where we left off, essentially.
Cool. So we're under attack.
Not yet, but when we stopped, a boat was closing on you. It was probably about 200 feet behind your two boats, and they did appear to be Drow. You guys have already seen once that they are still chasing you with if you guys recall, the incident at the gorge where you guys ended up crossing the gorge and half the party had to hold the line in a very Game of Thrones style while the rest of the party made it across, and then eventually you guys actually made it all the way out of that without losing somebody, which was impressive, I'll say. So apparently they are still chasing you, or at least some Drow are. So that's where we're going to pick up. And this is going to be for the most part, depending on how things go, a theater of the mind combat or event, depending on how you guys do things. So we stopped right as you noticed them. So you guys have been rowing at standard rowing speed, and they are also in a keel boat, also with 2 people rowing, and they're trying to catch up. The current distance between them and you is 200 feet. So because it's been a week, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to discuss what you want to do, because you could yell back and forth between each other. That way you guys can figure out what you want to do.
Well, Natasha actually brought this idea, and I kind of helped add on to it. But she suggested that she has disguise self, and she said that what she can do, she can disguise herself as one of the Drow slavers. And since I'm a shadow monk, I have the minor illusion cantrip, so I can also go ahead and cast the illusion that we're all wearing shackles, and hopefully maybe slip by that way.
Yeah, that could work, because I also have disguise self, so we could be like 2 guards or whatever.
Oh, that's nice. Are we on the same boat or are we on different boats?
From the looks of it, we're both on different boats. I'm with you, and Rolen is with Bupito, Kosjurkis, Smoke, and Stool. Oh, by the way, one thing I also forgot to mention for Tanner's benefit is that Kosjurkis managed to get himself a tiny little familiar in the form of a pseudo-dragon.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
This can only go well.
So it is the only thing with that plan that I would point out to you guys is the glorious spell Minor Illusion is exactly that. It is minor. It is a cantrip. You create a sound or image of an object within range. 1 object, not 10 objects.
Oh.
Now,
I kind of should roll in that plan.
It lasts a minute, but it's not concentration. I do want to use this opportunity to explain this spell, because this is probably the most number one. Do we have Alex? He's been real quiet. It's unusual.
I've seen him, but I think he's muted for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just sick and coughing up a lung, but I'm here.
I'm sorry to hear that. Hope you feel better. So even I underestimated this school of spell for a long time, as somebody who's played as long as I have. So illusion magic, pretty much any spell that creates an image that's not real or a sound that's not real. Disguise self or minor illusion. Here's the thing that most people don't know about it. That's going to be useful and important for you to know later. It is always successful. So hypothetically, Queen Ophelia cast disguise self on herself. The Drow roll up. They see a Drow. They see what she's pretending to be. They don't do a saving throw, and then if they pass, or if they fail, they believe it. It's always successful. If they ever get a reason to doubt you, they have to choose for good reason to use their action to inspect the person and do an investigation check. So if, for example, in my Monday game, the party looked into a room, they saw an illusion of 3 flame skulls. They ran into the room, and they ran into a trap. They chose to sleep for 8 hours inside of a dungeon, and they ran into a trap. And the result was 3 dead party members, 1 trapped, and 1 ran away. that also applies to your disguise selves. All of these spells you guys are talking about, I just want it known that it's automatically successful. If you're talking like a dwarf and looking like an elf, they would probably do an investigation check. But without something to give the clue away, and it's the other way around too. If you guys see an illusion and you don't say, I want to do an investigation check, then you will walk dead into it, not knowing. If somebody touches an illusion, it's automatic success that it's not real. It's like a hologram. But that's all I wanted to add to that, because it's going to be valid in the future.
Okay. Well, in that case, I have 2 alternate plans. Those trap doors, do they actually lead lower down into like a lower area of the boat or anything of that nature?
Yes.
Okay. Because my alternate plan B is that we all huddle into our various hatches to see if we can hide.
They're not that big. 2 small creatures get in there, or 1 medium.
Okay, so plan C, then I cast Minor Illusion to essentially recreate the Prince of Darkness and try to scare them the hell away.
At the risk of making this a habit, Minor Illusion has a very specific limitation. You can create a sound, or you can create an image of an object. It cannot be. Some examples are like a chair, a muddy footprints, a small chest. It can be no longer than 5 feet.
We can make the people at the front or the back or whichever direction these people are coming from look shackled, just like one person. They'll focus on me and they'll just like look over and see, oh, someone's in shackles, and then they might just move on.
While I love the idea of not fighting here, they know that they're chasing 2 boats. Dirigar probably told them a description of what we look like.
But why would they turn you in? You guys are so loyal
right.
to your previous friends.
So chances are, I could be wrong, but chances are I'm guessing if the Drow pull up and find more Drow here, they're at least going to be very suspicious. And then upon closer observation, they're going to see that we're not who we are, right? Or not who we're pretending to be. I could be wrong.
There isn't anything that we could like duck into just to kind of like obscure ourselves, like these like.
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff. There's blankets and stuff you could cover up and hide things, but as in like completely hiding your body, there's nothing like that.
Okay, I was just kind of about to suggest maybe we could like hide in a barrel or something like that.
I mean, I think we need to definitely row as fast as we can, like while people are trying to pretend they're drows.
And if they tell us in Drow to pull over and we don't,
well, we're drow too. Fuck them. They don't know us. They're all assholes to each other.
We're on very important business to transport these prisoners to Gracklestug.
Yes, Lady Loth herself bestowed this upon me.
Himith, is there any type of cove or anywhere we could try and duck into coming up that you know of?
There's no cove. There's a series of obstacles that require some navigation up ahead, but there's a couple tunnels we could try and lose them in if you want to do that. There's a couple tunnels out of this caravan or this cavern that you guys can try to speed away from them in. So
okay.
So if you get far enough away from them that they can't see you, they can't see you.
Give me a. Oh.
So disguise self lasts an hour, right?
Yes.
So we can try and book it away from them and try and lose them in these tunnels. And at the same time, have this shtick going and see what happens. I think if they get close enough, they're definitely going to board us at the very least. And the second that they board us, they're going to figure out something's wrong, and then we're fucked, right?
Well, then we just don't let them board us. We just stab them if they try and come aboard us.
Burn up. Burn them up.
I was gonna say, once they're within 150 feet, I can start lighting them up, right?
You can light them up whenever your spell ranges, or whatever your weapon ranges.
So I just want to reiterate something from last week. Like a globe of darkness, if I were to cast something like that, we could carry that with us, right?
You'll have to read the spell. Where's it from?
Well, let me pull it back up. I just had it.
If I recall, which I always look it up, but as I recall, light and darkness is a point in space.
Yeah.
But I might be wrong.
Yeah, I want to say that it was right because it says, magical darkness
And you
spreads.
can cast it, but I think you can cast those also on an object. If you point, you choose as an object you are holding, it can be worn or carried.
Yeah, it says magical darkness spreads from a point you choose within a range to fill a 50-foot. Okay, that's a range. Okay, that's not gonna work. Never mind then. Nah, I'm just gonna go ahead and remove this. Okay. Choice is foiled again.
Okay, so how about this? Let's find the perfect medium here. Let's roll like motherfuckers. The people who can do disguise self, like jump on the back of the boats and kind of just like wave them off or whatever. Like, hey, we're all good here. Just more drow. We'll keep going. And if they chase to within 30 feet, then we open up on them.
Burn them.
I'm fine with that plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works with me.
All right.
I would just hate for them to get within, because especially with those hand crossbows that they like to use, right? That's a 20-foot range. If they get within like launching distance on us and we're shooting back and forth, I don't see that going well, right?
Yeah, we definitely need to kill them if they get close because they are not friendly. We know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my only range distance that I've got is basically a spear. That's all I've got.
And if we've learned anything in this campaign, it's that any drow is a bad drow, right?
Yeah.
No.
Not
The only
necessarily
good drow is a
anyone.
dead drow.
No.
Dead than drow.
Alrighty. So, here's your starting sheet. Hopefully you guys got that.
Yep.
200, 200, and 0. The boat on the left is that map. You can just kind of minimize if you want. I keep it big for my usage. The boat on the left is 1, right is 2. So here's how it works. If you're trying to run from somebody, it's called a chase. I don't remember if we've done this before, but it's one of my favorite parts of the unusual aspects of D&D. Every round in this boat, it's going to work like this. The 2 people rowing are going to do a strength or athletic skill check. Whatever you roll total between the 2 of you is going to determine how far you move. That's total. So if you roll 1d20 plus 2, you get a 20. That's 22 feet. So your distance is going to be what it is. Being said, and that's what's going to determine the distance. At the end of the round, whoever is rowing, for example, we're going to do one person's going to row a save. That save, let me phrase it, a d20, and then that person that's going to determine who the other boat encounters or what the other boat encounters. It's a complication is the term that is appropriate. And then you will on your turn, you will make your strength save to see how far you go. Then you will address the complication, whatever it is, or there might not be a complication. They can do damage to your boat, they can speed up your boat, they can slow your boat down. Depends on how you handle it. And when the distance becomes either too great for the chasing boat to see you, you've considered to have lost them and are able to maneuver in a manner so they can no longer chase you until such time as you make it easy for them by going through a lock and letting them tell you where you're at. Until then, if you get too close in that instance, then that is a separate issue, which when they get in range, they may start trying to hit you. They may not. We'll see. But for now, this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to put the boat on here, a Drow boat. It's on the combat tracker. I'm going to give it the hit points it has. And it's got the same damage resistance. They are also using keel boats. Different, little different style, but it is what it is. So the two questions I have for you is, number one, who is rowing boat 1 and 2? And that's going to determine who's going to make those strength saving throws. I wish I had the music, but you were getting double audio, and so you guys will just have to turn on some chase music in your background.
Well, I think if I'm going to do the actor thing where I try to be a Drow priestess, I probably should not row so that I look not like a peasant.
Same.
Let's say
Peasantry.
I'm fine with doing the strength save. I mean, I've got like a +4 to that, so we should be good, at least for my boat. Can't say anything about the other crew, though.
This boat is fucked.
Yeah, we're dead.
We have no strength.
We're so fucked.
Just don't let Bupito do it.
Or Kosjurkis. Don't let Kosjurkis do it.
Okay, never mind. Looks like me and Agile are rowing, and then I might just have to get up and...
-1 over here.
Oh, I'm at 0, so I have the highest strength on this boat. Are you fucking kidding me?
Hey,
Well, you're going to be a male Drow anyway, so it's probably fine if you row.
Wow.
Well, it's true.
yeah.
It's
Tony,
not wrong.
how strong is Stool?
-1.
Sounds like
Stool is -1 strength.
You know you're in deep shit when you're looking at the baby mushroom to row the boat.
I
And
just want to say that
this might
Stool
sound stupid,
is
but
physically
really.
Kosjurkis.
but really,
Save me, baby mushroom, save me.
but really.
All right.
So it looks like I'm rowing on both sides. I'm big enough. I could probably reach.
Oh, fuck.
Just do like the backstroke.
Stool's got this.
Stool. He is, I will say this. It would be better to have Bupito. Stool is not anatomically made to row. He'll take disadvantage.
Bopito's also
Makes
a -1?
Yeah.
Yes, Bupito is also the...
All of you guys are -1, and
Yeah,
I'm
no,
a 0.
Excuse you, Kosjurkis is
Minus
a mighty
two.
-2.
My bad.
What if like Stool and I forget the little baby dragon's name, Zrentara, like kind of like double teamed it, you know?
She's also a -2.
So just out of curiosity, like
What the fuck's up with this boat?
This boat's so fucked.
This
So like
is our
what's
party, boys. We don't have a single strength.
I will give you an option though. If you want to give the Drow boat, if you want to surrender your first round of movement, I'll let you switch party members, but the Drow boat's still going to take their action.
I'll just give everybody guidance. Everybody just gets all the guidance in the world.
Guidance is an action.
Okay, never mind.
All
Somebody
right,
else
here-
rowing. I give them guidance. Okay, well, we're fucked.
Because I was just
All
about
right.
to suggest, I mean, like, who's like, Fargus, Hemeth, and Gemjar's scores? Because I could probably see about jumping across to the other boat just to see about that.
So Fargus has a +0,
Okay.
So does Jim Jar.
and Hemeth, let's scroll up here, is sporting a +2.
Oh shit.
So
Where's
Hemeth-
Oglavone with that +5?
That was the past time.
Curse our party of dex marshals and casters.
Can we just tie our boats together and hope for the best?
What if I turned into an octopus and dragged them in the water?
Fuck yeah.
Drag to them?
Yeah, like I dragged the boats.
You can drag at half your speed. Let's see, what's the octopus's swim speed?
I don't know, actually.
Or can you turn into like
Something bigger.
Can you turn into a giant octopus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
Can you turn into like an ape and just like still row, but just like super strong row?
Breaststroke.
Like a great blue whale. They're fast, I think.
Yeah, be a whale.
do you have a swim speed? You do, right?
Hold on. Look. Yeah, I have swim speed now.
The ape is sporting a +3.
2 strength.
Will
Correct.
it fit in the boat?
Yeah, oh yeah. Ape's a standard ape, not a giant ape.
Okay.
Right.
What's your challenge rating limit?
I can go up to 1.
Well, then you got lots of options.
I'm looking right now.
So
Yeah.
where are we at with this giant octopus dragging the boat?
That would not be the best solution.
Okay.
They're just, I mean, you could, but even then, it's so heavy that it's going to take a pretty hefty penalty.
Even if it has a powerful build.
It has a giant octopus has a swim speed of 60.
Yes. So the issue is going to be the size of the boat, which is going to put it at double difficult, which is going to move it down to 15 feet per round. It's a D20 plus your strength modifier, so you're still looking at, even with a 0, potentially getting up to 40 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'll let you guys do it however you want. This is your goat. I'm just holding the horns.
Well, I can turn into something that has a little bit more strength, so I can actually do something decent like that.
Wait, how many times? Okay, so here's my question: the giant octopus has a strength of +3, and it has 8 arms. You see where I'm going with this?
Right, it can row
Oh,
both
I can roll
boats.
all.
Oh wait, no,
Still-
it can only breathe underwater. Never mind. This
You
is-
say it still has an anatomic issue. Looking at the beasts, as I go down the list of beasts, ape is probably going to be your best bet. I mean, you have some options here as far as like challenge rating 1 and lower, but ape is a half, and it's the most anatomically correct to pull that off, and it's got a decent strength. So you should probably have 2 other people row the first round while you shapeshift, unless it's a bonus action possible.
That's a bonus action.
And shapeshift and row. But if you want to get like something else, you're more than welcome. Don't let me.
No, that sounds good.
If only
Yeah,
we could
out of
learn
water, a
anything.
giant octopus, I could hold my breath for 1 hour, but yeah, no. it's-
Imagine the octopus rowing.
Yeah, if you guys are good with me turning into an ape, then
Do it.
I can help row
All right,
a little
yeah.
bit better. I don't have that on my list of things that I asked for, but
Okay.
Kosjurkis, maybe you join me on the back, no? If need be, we rain hellfire on these motherfuckers.
Okay.
Hellfire raining. All right, so let's put an ape on here because why would we not? Make him friendly so that Tanner can get access to that sheet. And we'll just stick Tanner off, drag him behind the boat. All right, so chase music ensuing as you guys are attempting to flee. And we can start off with the, change this around. We'll start off with the strength checks from, looks like Jim, or probably should have Hemeth up there. Hemeth and Bupito. And you can do a skill check for or athletics if you have it.
Athletics. Okay, well. Brilliant.
It's okay. We got this.
They got this.
Like, yeah, plus 4 to strength, and Plus
So yeah, I
flourish.
can do an athletics check.
You can.
Sweet.
All right.
I'm
Oh,
awesome.
look at you there. Nice.
So we'll put athletics here. I'll just drag these down here. We'll get the Bupido athletics coming out with a total of 2, giving you guys 226 feet in boat 1. And then Hemeth, he has a 22 to start with Spirit 6 for 28. And of course, we can't forget that the Drow, they get to make their own rolls. Don't forget that. So it's going to be the distance there. There's just going to be a straight strength for a total of, apparently, I'll update these for you guys. You're managing to pull away, and starting right here, as the Drow, they start to see you and aim towards you, you notice there are a total of 5 Drow. Those of you with a perception above 13, which is quite a few of you. There are 5 Drow in the boat, 2 rowing, 3 at the front of the boat. All 3 at the front of the boat have long bows.
Take
Long-
off, you losers.
Yep.
And with this, that first round was just rowing. So this second round, we're going to start with some strength checks from boat 1. That's going to be Rolen. Go ahead and throw that out. Bupido with a 14.
That's athletics again.
Yeah, it'll be permanently athletics for now, for the rowing. You know, take the 24 while you can.
Yeah.
Putting you guys right up at a 50. And the other side, Spirit, you want to
Yep.
give us another one for you?
There we go. That's more like it.
And over here we got a 23 and a 17, putting you guys at 68. And before they move on this turn, they haven't taken their turn yet, but you guys are pulling away. I need somebody, I don't know, let's say Alex or Ophelia. You guys can alternate. Or Kosjurkis. Why don't you guys start with Alex since you're sick? Give me a D20, please.
Great. Fantastic. Did I go through?
It did not.
Thank God. Cocked. There you go. Oh, even better.
Even better. So, well, lucky for you, your roll determines what complication they encounter.
Aha!
Well,
Meant
wait
to
a
do
sec.
that.
Our primary healer is on that boat.
No.
The Drow.
Drow.
Yeah. If it was the other boat, I would have rolled like a 19, you know?
Right. Because, fuck you, that's why. So let's figure out how far they try to move first and get their rolls in here for a total of 21, getting them up to 34 as they are doing their best to close. They're struck by a sudden riptide that grabs their boat. They have to do a strength check, athletics, and let's see how that goes. DC 15, they come out with a 16 and suffer no penalties, but they get to roll a D20. All right. So, as they are closing on you and the complications, you guys are rowing as hard as you can. The distance is definitely there. Let's see what you guys come away with for the strength checks first, starting with Bupido and Rolen. Give me a total of 17. And boat 2, Spirit and Hemeth. Hemeth comes away with a 21 for a 45.
Huge rolls, wow.
Wow. Fuck that other boat. Putting you guys at 313 feet. They are blasting already 50 feet ahead. But as you guys are speeding, you guys whip around a tunnel. And as you guys come into a small cavern, not even a cavern, let's say a small chamber, You guys are rowing. The rest of you are looking around. It looks like it's the site of a demonic battle. Some various demons. Luckily, they're all dead. So there's that at least. And in the process of going through that chamber, you notice that the reek of decay, the fetid, rancid demonic flesh has produced clouds of toxic vapors that sting your eyes.
Oh, fuck.
And I need a DC 14 Constitution saving throw from everybody. It'll be a saving throw.
Brilliant!
Oh, no.
That's a
Oh,
hit twice.
no.
We'll stick with the first one.
Okay.
DC 14. So if you fail, you are blinded until your next turn and you lose half the speed you gained. It's not going to be something I applied, but looks like everybody who was rowing past, and Kosjurkis, you're blinded for this round. If you were trying to shoot, you would not be able to. But to you guys, let's see. We'll go back up to Indomitable. He loses 12 of that 24, putting you guys here.
And the spirit just kind of like mildly just says, "Yeah, I can't see."
The rancid, demonic, fetid flesh stings your eyes.
My eyes are burning.
Hey,
Yeah.
burn. All right, Ophelia, roll me a d20, please, ma'am. All righty. The Drow, on the other hand, with their rolls, coming away with a total of 13, because that's what happens when you suck. They come away with a 13, but a 9. They tried to circumnavigate around the demonic fetid flesh cloud that you guys blasted right through. They end up getting a little too close to a stalagmite. Stalactite. And they have to duck and adjust as best they can, doing saving throws. And the DC is 15, and 1, 2, 3 of them failed, taking 2d10 bludgeoning damage to the head.
Oh,
Wow.
shit. And they're dead.
And it breaks the first one's neck.
Ah, nice.
Loser.
So you guys see them try and spin around, and it literally hits him so hard it breaks his neck, which is pretty bad. And the second two take a pretty solid hit, but unlike the first little gentleman, he was not in the best of conditions. But you guys are rowing as fast as you can.
So, sorry, Tony. So like we saw that happen?
Yes, you watched the guy break his neck. They're only just over 200 feet away from you. That's not very far.
Great. And it was it the three, like the guys who all kind of bumped into this? Was it the archers on the front, or was it one of the guys rowing?
It was the archers on the front.
Cool. So one of them's down, the other two took a hit.
Yes.
I'm gonna try and hit him with another hit with an arrow.
Okay.
So that's a disadvantage from this distance.
Yes.
But obviously I can't target, so I'll just drop it.
Oh, hold on one second. I'm sorry. Here you go. They're on combat tracker.
Oh, here, I'll just do this.
I'll even add
15.
Alrighty. That is a hit.
Sweet. Is that sneak attack because they can't see me, or is that not so much?
But that is not sneak attack.
Yeah, okay.
But I will apply that damage, and it hurts. And on that round, you guys are rowing pretty solidly, and give me another round of strength checks, athletics. See how far you got. Bupito came away with a 13.
Holy shit, Spirit. Holy fuck.
Oh gosh, oh jeez.
That's like 3 20s in a row for Spirit, and that's like below three times in a row for fucking Tanner. Jesus.
All right, 24 and an 8 puts him at 32, bringing that to 42. And for you guys, as you guys are rowing so rapidly, the tunnel that you're passing through has a sudden drop. It's a small little waterfall.
That's how they killed Jeff.
A sudden drop does catch you guys by surprise. I'm going to need a dexterity saving throw, DC 13 from the rowers. And we'll do this one right here. That's half, so it is what it is. And Hemeth coming away with his dexterity save. Spirit and Hemeth fail theirs, and Rolen is the only one that passes.
Oh no.
The sudden drop does catch you by surprise, but it is about, let's see, it is a total of about 19 feet, and which means apparently I can't roll the dice in the right spot. That's the first thing it means. The boat itself takes 4 damage, and that's exceeding the 10 damage threshold. But there's no other penalty except damage to the boat, so there's at least that. Now, back on their turn, I need a d20 from Kosjurkis. Let's see what they encounter as they are rowing.
See what they get.
Coming away with a 6. All right. So let's do their actions first, then we'll deal with that. Get their full-on strength checks. Ooh, they caught 24 that time. That's their distance before we do it. Is that updating every time I share that? I hope.
Yeah.
Just about.
It should be. Since you guys start firing, they return the favor.
Oh no.
My bad.
For your sanity, I'm going to place the Drow over here in the same order they are in the boat. I could pull another token out, but it seems like a little bit of a waste of time. The 2 Drow in the back, or if you put your mouse over them, it'll say they're rowing. The 2 Drow take aim, first and foremost, directly at Spirit. Of course, like you, at disadvantage, as they kick loose a natural 1. And since they get 2 attacks, he managed to defeat another arrow and miss. How sad is that? You get 2.
I love how the fact that they aim like right for Spirit, yet Agile Smoke's the one being attacked.
I
think
meant
you meant me yet.
I said the wrong name, but
Yeah.
4 arrows come flying by and thud into the wood or splash blindly into the water.
Can I shoot back?
You on your turn.
I'm almost tempted to just, turn back and like taunt them for that, but I'm not going to. Since they all missed, I don't think I'll bother with trying to use my reaction to try to catch one or deflect one. So
there we go. I didn't mean to pop that on your screen. It doesn't matter if you see it, but I didn't mean it. It was pretty big. Sorry if it got on your screen. They hit that same sudden drop, and they have to make their DC 12 dexterity saving throw. And coming away with a success and a failure, meaning they also take the same damage, which is going to be 4 to their boat. Probably not going to destroy the boat at this point, but let's keep it. All this damage does add up. Bringing it back around to your guys' turn. Get those saving throws. Let's get those skills checks going as I will add them up.
God damn it. No luck anymore.
No luck. So Rolen and Bupito got a 9 and a 14. So boat 1 is doing the best they can.
Wait
300.
up,
I wanted to say this earlier, but I kind of had the idea of, even though we're in boats, I just still got the mental image of like tires squealing away.
Well, you guys do end up You guys are just hauling ass there. You want to hit them with your sword, just turn around and do it. Don't be scared. I think you should.
Yeah.
And you guys manage to have no complication this round, but now is the chance, if you want to use an ability, is your opportunity.
Let me see how far away they are from us. Oh, they're kind of far away from us.
Yeah, obviously I took a shot and missed.
I can't think of anything that I can actually do.
It's times like this that I kind of miss being Ro, because this time I would actually turn around and I would use Vicious Mockery on him. But I can't do that, so.
I can't do anything as an ape, so I'm good.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do.
I can bang my chest a little bit. That's about it.
Okay. So, you took your shot? Yeah, it looks like it was a miss for sure. And give me a D20 real quick.
Who, me?
Anybody. Anybody. I'll take the first one that rolls. There we go.
No.
Outstanding. I'm going to pause it right here. Let's just take a 2-minute break, not a full break. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Sorry about that. I had to take a quick leak. Buddy,
Malachi's just getting his laundry, but he'll be back.
got to get your laundry. So for them, their check, I'm just going to go ahead and do that then with double 19s.
Fuck.
Putting them at 106. But they got a 5. Move that up here. So they do blast through a little kelp bed, unfortunately, for them. And having to do, and it reduces their, had to do some checks to try and force their way through. And they got a 5 and a 12, both failing, costing them 15 feet of their actual gained movement, which bumps them back down to 99. So here's how a chase works. At the end of the round, if you are more than 200 feet, in this case, 250 feet ahead of them, you are considered to have lost them. Since there are two of you, you both have to be that far ahead. With the first boat, boat 1 is not that far ahead. You guys are going to have to put some distance. So that's what your goal is. Boat 2 is out of range, out of sight range, out of distance, so they can't do anything to you. Obviously, if you slow down or fall behind before the other boat gets away, that's on you. But is Agile Smoke still here? Did we lose him? Did he run away?
I'm here.
All righty. Well, let's get some of those disadvantage attack rolls. I'll just roll that twice there on accident. As they are opening fire on you and doing poorly, this will be his second attack. It would have hit, but for the disadvantage. If he can only get close enough.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know?
Let's do those strength checks.
There you go.
And Agile Smoke will do his when he gets back. We'll let him.
No, I don't need a strength check, right?
I meant spirit. My apologies.
Oh,
We're getting cats all look the same.
No.
Oh, got him.
Okay, that puts the Hemeth boat at 18. There's your distances. And for your complication, a large, jagged piece of Zerkwood seems to be floating down the tunnel, pulled by undercurrents directly at your boat. It makes a +10 attack roll against your boat, which has an arc.
Dodge.
Unfortunately, you don't actually get a dodge. It gets an attack roll, which is going to be at a +10. I'm sorry, a +8. So it'll be a 12 against the boat 1. I rolled a 14, but I added +10 on accident. So the second one is attempting to attack the boat and comes away with a 20. Manages to hit boat 2, dealing 2d12 plus 10 damage to the actual boat.
Oh shit.
For a total of 23 or 13 to the boat, which puts the damage to the boat at 17. And now, if anybody wants to make any attacks, you're more than welcome.
Man, that's a hard shot.
It is a hard shot, but I mean, you're firing a couple hundred feet behind you. So, Ophelia, you give me a d20, please, as I roll and catch up here. A 3. So that gives them an undercurrent trying to pull them backwards. Both of them fail their saving throw. They rolled a 9. They lost 15, so they lose 5 feet in total. 6 feet, actually. They are fighting against a current and losing. They are doing their best to catch you, but they are going to take that shot. Come hell or high water, they're going to get an arrow one way or another. They're going to get an arrow in him. There it is.
Piss.
Agile, they hit you with an arrow. It sticks just inside of the instep of your boot, grazing your skin. But as it does, you feel a tingle of sleep poison. You manage to shake it off with such a graze. And followed
that was a good shot, no?
Followed behind that first arrow is one that pings off the boat, spraying into the water. And the other gentleman releases 2 more arrows. Both arrows stick right next to Kosjurkis. They're so bad.
Those were less good shots, yeah. Don't worry about
They damn
those.
near hit the wrong person. All right, let's get some couple of strength checks. If we can get some good ones, maybe you guys can get away.
Yay.
There we go.
All right. Coming up with Bupido. I'm a 12 for Bupido, and I will get Hemis here. Then I'll do some math. I tell you.
Excuse you, Tony. That's a respectable 12 from
It's
Bupido.
Combined up with that 22, that'll be 34 for boat 1, putting them at 66. Boat 2, still, you got him a respectable 9, and Hemeth with a 22 and 31 feet. And that is for 22. But
does that mean we've lost them at this point, or do they get their movement still?
It's at the end of the round.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately. For you. Most likely we will see. So for you, here's an unusual, strange breed of animal that appears to be a blind but resembling what at one time was a shark. An underdark shark. It's small, but it is swimming towards your boat. Your choices are to interact with it or not. And if you do choose to interact with it, it looks like it's an animal, it's a beast, and it's coming at you aggressively. So your choices are how you handle it.
Is it coming at us from like the side, the back, the front?
The front right.
Okay.
So it's going to cut
Maybe
across.
someone should jump on it.
I was about to say, can we jump
I'll do it.
Good throwback.
Yeah.
What was that, Spirit?
I said, it's a shark. Can we jump it?
Oh, yeah. There's lots of options. Attacking, skill. There's even skills for trying to, communicate with animals. If your druid wasn't a monkeying around right now, he'd be able to do something.
Yep.
But since he is monkeying around, Ophelia and Kosjurkis and Agile Smoke, you are the 3 that get to choose what to do. You can attack it, or animal handling.
I think
Ophelia should convince to join the best friend club and go and attack the Drow. That's what I think.
I was about
Can I
to say,
still
yeah.
do like an animal handling check?
Unfortunately, no. Your actions are dedicated to
Oh,
rowing.
right, okay.
Ophelia, it seems like they want you to do an animal handling check. It's on your
I got this.
Sucks because I have +6 to that.
Oh, yay!
Straight 16, that's good.
And that would be required 15 to communicate with this creature and
Nice.
distract it. Not necessarily make it the best friends club, but distract it long enough for your boats to get past so that it's not an obstruction for you.
Hey, shark.
Okay.
You want to be my friend, Shark?
So I just say hey to the shark. How you doing? Hey, Sharky Shark.
Baby shark, do 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 do.
Big ass aggressive shark. Do do.
I just kind of like mumble under my breath. I can't believe that actually worked.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. And Kosjurkis, give me a D20.
All right, let's see what we got. Oh.
And they come away with a 3 and a 7 and no complication, putting them at 104 feet, and that is 252 feet behind the closest boat. You have
Yay.
successfully dodged them, killed one. I mean, technically the rock that he headbutted killed him, and wounded the other pretty significantly between the rock and an arrow. But you have lost them. They are out of sight, and no longer, as you navigate your way through the twisting tunnels, they're no longer able to obviously follow you extremely closely. But they're out there, and they're looking, and they're close.
Tony, I have a question for you real quick.
Go.
Well, it's a two-parter. Number one, can we try to recover some of the arrows that they shot at us? And number two, are these arrows still sleepy weepy time?
Sleepy weepy time? No. The poison is short-lived.
That fills me with sadness.
Your sadness notwithstanding, if you really would like to try to recover some, there were a total of 12 arrows shot. You can do the rolls and get them back if you like. I'd say probably 7 of them remain on the boat. I'd say 7 rolls in total, but no, they won't be poisoned.
Okay. Just plucking them out of the back there. I'm gonna. Oh wait, I was supposed to say high or low, right? Shit.
It doesn't matter as long as you know what you're using.
Yeah, I was going for high. That's 7, right? No, one more.
Like I say, if you got a sheet at D&D, something's wrong with you.
My brain forgot to do that. Where do 10s fall on high, low side?
Low.
Okay.
11 and above is high.
Gotcha.
Alrighty.
Well, we got 3 arrows.
As Kosjurkis is doing that, the smoke's just going to be like, be careful, they could be still poisonous. Who knows,
Kosjurkis licks the tip of one of the arrows. It's okay.
Well, I mean, that's one way to find out. Probably not the smartest way, but it's a way.
And he hands them over to Smoke.
Oh, well, yes, thank you, my little dragon friend. You are quite courageous.
Sorry. The boat is behind you. Is there anything you guys?
You're cutting in and out.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out pretty badly there.
You're cutting in and out.
Oh, burn! Oh.
Is there anything you guys want to do as you row away from these drow?
Row faster.
Or is that an ambush?
Ooh.
That might actually be fun.
Like, if we know that they're behind us, theoretically, is there a spot that maybe Hemeth knows or can point out to us where it's like we can like go behind some rocks or whatever, and then as they go by, we can broadside them, fucking light them up with cannons, and yell "Shiver me timbers" and jump them.
We have cannons.
I was about to say,
The grape. Old grape shot me hearties.
Yes. Arr.
So yes, there are as many locations, cracks and crevices where you guys could settle your boats in and get out and try to ambush them.
I mean, I'm good at either way, but I mean, what's the saying? The only good drows,
Burn them!
Drow in the Friends Club?
Boo.
You guys suck.
So as it stands right now, you guys are no longer in sight of the drow, but probably still being chased by them. I will leave it to you guys whether you continue to run away or turn and face them. The only thing I will mention as a piece of information is that they probably aren't alone eventually. So bear that in mind. Whatever you do, you probably don't want to hang out too long.
I suggest, I mean, as much as I would love to just, beat these guys around with the 2x4 here, I suggest it would probably be best if we just keep moving.
Yeah, okay.
There will come a time when we will be able to smack these guys around. So
Get us out of here, Captain Ape Roland.
So with that, as you guys are making your way, you have a good couple hours of not being pestered. So anybody who's injured is going to be able to take a long rest.
Yay.
Long rest. There we go. So long rest applied. If anybody wants to, wizardly or druid wants to change their spells, you can. But after the long rest, I'm going to need a series of 3 medicine checks at advantage to see how much damage we can do or we take from mummy rot.
well, I only got a +1 to medicine, so
Well, you can't medicine yourself,
I know.
unfortunately.
That was yeah.
Do it to him.
A 16. All right. Make sure I get all this stuff here. Did you do that with advantage?
No. Do I get advantage?
You do
Yep.
if you have someone helping you, which so
Watch
far
out
you
for
have.
Ophelia, yeah. Okay. One more time, and it sucks. So, yeah.
It does. But that's okay. You can't win them all, right?
Nope.
So, with 15, I need a 1d6 from Spirit.
all right, that is, here you go.
Now your choice is you can take 4 reduction on your maximum hit points, or someone can use the vial from Anaray, that lady you betrayed, and a 2nd level spell slot, and keep that from affecting you. It's just whether Rolen wants to use that spell slot.
I can if Spirit wants.
It's a 2nd level spell slot?
Lesser Restoration.
Yeah, Lesser Restoration.
Okay.
I could just take the damage for right now, because...
It's up to you. I got like 3 slots.
Okay.
And that's effectively like perma-stack, right? Like, we don't know how long it'll be till we can cure you, so...
Well, if he uses a spell slot, he gets to heal 1d6. Hypothetically, it could be lower than that 4.
True.
And this is the start of the day, so it'll be a day before you get a long rest.
Yeah, I'll just burn the 4 for right now. I'll just have to make a note that I have, let's see.
Just make a note on your sheet under the log is probably easiest. Throw it in the factions tab or something.
Yeah. Max HP is let me see, that is 31, and I'll just go ahead and I'll make a note on here.
And you can change your max HP to 27.
Yep.
And you're done.
All right.
And if that wasn't good enough, let's get some... Ooh, Jimstar's unconscious. We don't want that.
Unconscious? How the hell did he manage to do that?
Kosjurkis and Indomitable Spirit, if you would be ever so kind as to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
brilliant.
Uh-oh.
That ain't working.
Kosjurkis, you're feeling fine. In the morning, Indomitable Spirit wakes up and after doing his morning routine, he randomly and without warning lapses into a state of euphoric bliss. If
I
this
love
were
how you guys
battle,
just continuously forget that Indomitable Spirit is a woman.
she, with all that fur, how can you tell?
Cats, am I right?
I mean, how do you tell dwarf men and women apart?
I am never playing a female character again.
And Indomitable Spirit, the woman, lapses into a state of euphoric bliss, and she cannot take actions or bonus actions, but she uses her movement to begin dancing around the boat.
Nice.
Twirling, spinning up to the front of the boat, and it lasts a good 6-7 seconds, and she can do that wisdom saving throw again.
All right. Let's see what we got here.
And she spends another round dancing around. And I will answer that perception when she does another wisdom saving. Let's just assume it's a couple rounds, because the DC is 15.
Oh my god. Take a 20 on that.
There she goes. She spends a while just dancing around the boat. She's not really paying attention. She twirls around Ophelia, tapping people on the head. And everybody's just spinning and spinning. Or she is just spinning and spinning around everybody. Finally, she comes out of the euphoric bliss. Agile Smoke, you notice that the Indomitable Spirit female has a very small pustule forming on her left cheek.
Brilliant.
And give me an intelligence check.
From me? From me?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Oof.
You don't really recognize it, but it is a little bitty pustule. It's very small.
Obviously, I point and I go, Spirit, you have some pus on your face.
Do I now?
Put it with a stick.
Yes, yes. It's discoloration. Very, very, and like Agile goes over, it's like he can't look anymore.
Say we don't have any light, so I can't use the glass or the surface of the water as an impromptu mirror, can I?
You cannot.
It's a mirror, my kingdom for a mirror. Well,
who's good with pus, huh?
I just kind of let out a long-suffering sign and be like, boy.
Let me check it out. Here, let's do this.
All right, an intelligence check, please. That is the exact same type of pustule that was found on a former party member of yours of the dark elf variety.
You're fucked. My diagnosis, you're fucked.
And now that it has incubated, anytime that you find yourself under strain, the primary example of which will be combat, at the beginning of combat, I'm going to need Kosjurkis and Indomitable Spirit to start out with a wisdom saving throw to prevent the stress from sending them into a euphoric state for that round.
I just kind of sit back and lift my head, and I just kind of give a sort of acceptant but at the same time, sort of just long-suffering. God damn it.
Is this contagious?
If you're standing near somebody who gets their head
Yeah, when they explode, yeah, they're contagious.
I don't think of
So if you feel like you're gonna explode, warn us so we can all back away.
So,
I'm gonna need to go to the back of the boat.
yeah, well, or everybody on one boat, Spirit and Kosjurkis on the other boat.
Hey!
we'll call that the leper boat.
Maybe I'll just like find a good, secluded place and just do myself in, so I don't have to, worry about being a danger to the rest of you all.
Oh no.
Well, I don't think we're quite at leper colony. Probably. Best.
You're cutting out a lot, Tony.
It'd probably be a good idea to get to Gracklestug, which was... One second. Let's see if this fixes it. There we go. How is this? Is this any better?
Yep, you're good.
Good to me.
So it would probably be a good idea to get to Gracklestug as soon as possible. Hemeth has told you that there are many places where you can exchange services for healing, and that would probably be your best bet.
So
the closest and fastest. You guys are currently on your third day of travel, and that third day, or the seventh day, you will be arriving in Gracklestug. So you're almost halfway.
Hooray!
Yeah, that's always a plus.
So, as you row for the day, if you want to rearrange yourselves on the boat, that is a free action. You don't need to do anything. I will be describing. So, you guys can rearrange as you need, as you choose. But as you do row through the day, you don't actually encounter anything. So far, in the first 2 days, you guys were encountering stuff, whether it was rough terrain, crazy sharks, drow chasing you. It's an active place, this Dark Lake. But it doesn't take you long of rowing before you start seeing signs of battle. There are areas where you see misshapen bodies of demons, some with wings and like vile mosquitoes. Very, very awful looking creatures. You see strange looking areas where there are gnolls and goblins that look like, I'm going to send you a series of pictures. There's nothing alive as far as you can tell. You see maw demons that have been ripped to shreds, as well as goblins and gnolls all around them that also were shredded. You see creatures that you know as players. The old Chasme.
Oh shit.
Oh fuck.
We have to go.
They're dead.
Thing.
They're
We
dead.
have to leave.
They are just some examples. There are numerous demon bodies. There are demons that died fighting each other, as best you can tell. As you go through caverns, there's dead bodies floating in the water. It looks like a cloud of demons, almost in the same fashion that a cloud of locusts would ravage through an area. It looks like these creatures have ravaged through this area and fighting as they went, dropping bodies here and there. And whenever they came upon anything, whether it was goblins or monsters, they just shredded it, ripped it to pieces. After rowing, and you guys are rowing pretty much 24/7. You're pretty much traveling 24/7. You can row 8 hours and then kind of float with the current. After a few hours of rowing, you come upon a large-size black dragon corpse. And it is like, it's almost like it's been to a butcher. It's like had its insides just shredded all the way down the sides. You could tell there are just long, raking claw marks. It has puncture holes the size of the Chasme stabbing proboscis. And it just looked like a series of creatures went into a wild frenzy And there's quite a few of them laying around that have been bitten in half and boiled with some type of acid breath. It looks like some type of vile demonic wave just tore through this area.
Well, this is just a very lovely image of everything. Let's say Spirit does not look unsettled in the least, and by that I mean she looks kind of terrified.
And as you continue rowing a little bit down the way, about another hour of rowing, you come up by a series of 3 keel boats that look like they were probably Kawatoan make, same style you're using. And they are destroyed. They seem to only be still floating because of their being tied together. There are corpses laying about, and the same general story. Some type of demonic feeding frenzy. They're just kind of floating against a wall where the current has pushed them, and they're just slowly sinking into the dark lake.
Is it Kawatoans that were on that boat that we can see the dead bodies of? Or?
Yes, Kawatoans on there. Well, parts of Kawatoans on there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You definitely recognize the body parts. Now, 1 second.
Is it worth stopping and taking a quick look at those boats or no?
Sure. You can always find something useful.
Maybe, right?
It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of anything on there except shredded bodies and shredded wood. The majority of them are underwater. Now, you can stop. I'm just letting you know ahead of time.
Nah, whatever. I'm just wondering, like, if they were like trade boats or whatever, right? But
I'm just not confident that there isn't like some kind of scavenger.
yeah, I better just keep going, right? I mean, stupid question maybe, but like, do we want to keep heading this direction? Seems like we're following the wake of something, right?
Hem has pretty much let you know that there's probably not going to be a whole lot of safe directions because his boat was attacked by some type of horde like this, and they came from the opposite direction. Not to mention it would be turning around and going 3 days in the opposite direction before you could begin your travel back to Gracklestug from another route, which would make your duration about 10 days, not even mentioning the recent sighting, the Drow.
Okay, heads up though, heads up. Everybody ready for a fight.
Yep.
Okay.
I just kind of solemnly nod my head.
As you are rowing, towards the end of your 8 hours that you're going to spend rowing, before you start your whole shift of floating, you hear voices ahead. And as you come into that chamber, you are able to look ahead. The chamber is fairly large, and in the middle of the chamber is a large spit of land, sandy, under dark dirt, as it were. There are apparently a number of huts and areas that have underdark creatures living in them. As you guys can see from here, you can definitely see that they are Kawatoans. The huts themselves are Kawatoans. The huts have been obliterated. It looks like that same demonic horde has shredded them as they came through. Now, it looks like something else has happened at the same time. So as you guys are coming in, you haven't been spotted. You've been able to see something along the lines of what was happening. And what you've been able to basically detect is that these Kawatoans have been killed or died fighting various demons. a trio. I'm sorry, a single boat with a 4 group of Dwergar came upon the island, and they have herded the remaining Kawatoans into a group, and they are tying them together, and their boat seems to have a little area behind it with a cage on it, like a floating cage. And they are preparing to load the survivors, mostly old Kawatoans, women, and young Kawatoans, into the cage to sail away with. So with that, I think I have someone knocking on my door, as you can hear my loud-ass dogs. So let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break, and we'll pick up with what to do with that.
All right.
Sounds good.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Howdy, howdy.
Alrighty. Just go ahead and... Cat, I love you. This is not a good time for cuddles.
When is it not a good time for cuddles?
When I'm
Apparently
trying to
now.
do stuff and my cat wants to be like, no, don't do this. Love on me instead.
Denied. All right. So, let's see. Are we missing anybody?
I think we're all good. Is Tasha back?
I think so. I don't know if she's back at her computer, but she is. Back. So, as I said, you guys came into an area that has a series of huts around this island that have been destroyed by various monsters, probably demons. And in the process, some people, let's say creatures, some creatures have survived. Now, those creatures are mostly the older ones, and there are a series of Dwergar who have gathered them up, circled them around, and are using rope to tie their hands together. There's probably 5 or 6 of the older Kalatoans and a couple of the younger ones. And they look like their intention is to load them into a boat and load them into a cage and take them off to Happy Land, presumably.
We're getting like a slavery vibe, right?
It's, you're getting a safe vibe. Hemeth pretty directly tells you that they're slavers. They're opportunistic slavers. That map's a little bigger than I wanted it to be when you do get it, and you might take a second to get it. Probably have to shrink it down unintentionally. So it
Anybody
looks
else? Anybody else got a problem with this?
Yes.
Hemeth recommends we don't interfere. It is very common. He understands you're not from the Underdark, but it is a common economic and labor practice in the Underdark. Gracklestug, where you guys are heading to help Spirit, maybe Kosjurkis, he's getting a little euphoric sometimes, is going to be full of slaves. He kind of makes a motion towards Bupito and says, the Darrow were slaves for hundreds of years. You are heading to a deep dwarf city. If, heaven forbid, you attack these people and he has allegiance to you, he will back you up. You saved his life, not them. But at some point, if one of them gets away, you could find the docks at Gracklestug closed to you. Not the least of which is it is an extremely common practice for Dwergar to have invisible guards.
Fairy Fire takes care of that. If they don't succeed at the saving throw.
Not saying this is the necessarily course we should take, but I mean, we know that they got a boat. I doubt they have an invisible boat. So if we maybe park ourselves up behind their boat and basically do not give them the chance to leave, that could be a way of ensuring it goes one way or the other, right? But I mean, yeah, I guess the other angle of this would be if we let them Like, if we save these people, where are they going to go? What are they going to do?
Swim away.
Our slaves.
What? What's the better call? Leave them to a life of slavery, or leave them to a life that might be short-lived?
Rolen can't stand idly by and let this happen.
Okay.
I should personally
I
run
mean,
my
Captain Kirk probably would not interfere with other species. I don't know.
Captain
True.
Kirk.
It's against the Prime Directive.
Yeah, but he does it all the time.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
You can't,
Just
A lot of the
listen, you can't bone either of these things. Captain Kirk would not care about these guys.
Now to be fair, we could bone all of them, I think.
Yeah, but
But Captain Kirk would probably try.
You know, there's only one way to find it.
we freed you, slaves. All right, to the love pits.
Time to bone. I like it. Okay, so I mean, the point becomes then, if we think this is a moral conundrum, we got to stop this. We have to kill them, right?
Or at least knock them out.
Mm,
Like, knock out the Well, I guess we have to kill them, yeah. Fair.
Yeah, because if they come up to Gracklestug and they point us out that, hey, yeah, we interfered with their slavery operations, I kind of get the feeling that we're not going to be in their good books.
Oh! Idea.
So you're killing them for your convenience. You're stopping them for the morality, but you're murdering them. I mean, killing them for convenience.
Idea.
I mean, to be fair, at this point, I mean, what haven't we done that for?
Kosjurkis is like waving a hand in the air.
We're all talking like above him. He's just like sitting there trying to get our attention.
He's running around tugging on pant legs and things like that.
yes, Kosjurkis, what is it, my little friend?
What if help slavers?
You mean to say like help catch the cat? I think they got it. I don't think they need help, but you mean just go be friendly?
Yes.
Right.
Hemeth chirps up. He says, "Sailing by and minding our business is probably the wisest course." Just gonna put that out there.
Spirit looks conflicted. On one hand, she wants to help, but on the other hand, she's also kind of settled down, just kind of clutching her staff against her, rocking back and forth, just kind of mumbling her husband's name.
That is a broken woman.
Yeah.
Broken.
If it was us surrounded by Drow, would we want somebody to stop and help us?
I mean, if I had a big ass pustule on my face and like I was losing my shit, I want you to sail on by and like fix me. But on the other hand, if I'm being tied up and probably sold into rapery, I would want you to save me. So I mean,
So they're sex slaves now?
duh.
Oh.
If Captain Kirk buys them, they are.
Oh, that was not nice.
Sounds like a vote, eh?
Sounds like a vote.
/vote space, and then whatever you want to be clicked on. Emmett doesn't get a vote, obviously, because you're in the party, but
Like,
nothing like honesty. Save them or fuck them. Someone's going to.
I'm good either way, honestly.
You can click them both if you want to.
so
By fuck him, just
like
so we're clear.
Spirit wants to save them and then fuck them.
I mean, she's loyal to her husband. She's.
The question is the pustule sexually transmitted?
Only one way to find out.
And here we are again, once again, at this point in the game.
Looks like we're 3v3, so Spirit, you got to make up your mind.
Back up, Spirit.
What's Bo Peter's vote? What's Fergus's vote? What's Jim Jar's vote?
We're the main group. They don't
not
care.
that they really matter, but
they're deferring to you. They don't have a. Hemeth actually has an opinion. They don't actually have an opinion.
Looks like we're moving on, though.
Yeah,
Spirit doesn't give a shit.
Spirit just is. She's just kind of out of it.
Alrighty, sounds like we know what we're doing.
Rolen doesn't agree with this decision, but
Rolen will
quiet
remember
about it.
that.
Yeah. Rolen remembers everything.
Well, perhaps they will be better off this way, you know? It's
In our defense, this isn't the first person that we've thrown under the bus. So.
Also, no room. No room on the boat.
Well, there could always be a way, but yeah, like we saved them. What fate do we lead them to after that? You know, so perhaps this is not perfect, but better than any other solution. You know.
So you're sailing by, correct?
Yep.
Reluctantly.
All right. You row on by. You get a couple looks from the Dwergar.
Kosjurkis waves.
You particularly get a couple extra looks, but they don't do anything towards you. You obviously are minding your business, so they're happy to mind their business.
It's nice that we're finally like embracing that we're a very morally dubious party. Last campaign we pretended to be good people, but we really weren't. We're just kind of embracing it this time, and I love it.
Hear that, Queen Ophelia? You're morally questionable.
What the fuck? Why?
Look at the company you keep. Criminals and hoodlums all.
I mean, someone's got to help me out of the underdark.
I'm focusing more on the long game here, so.
Nobody's evil without an excuse, Spirit.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the thing. What we're going over next is, I want to mention what we're going over next separately. My first question is, this is not something we will be seeing for a while. If I had to guess, what I'm about to ask you about is going to be probably around August or July, so at least 2 months away. But I'm going to ask anyways. There is let me ask you this. I know Mal and Alex, you guys are also DMs. Have you guys done any of the Yawning Temple mini dungeons?
I've read through a few of the early ones.
Okay. So I have heard a couple people say that they enjoy adding in Lost Temple of God knows I can't pronounce it. Tamu-chan. It's a set dungeon, or it's a mini dungeon for level 5s, and it's more around about the middle of the first part of this campaign. The Hidden Shrine of Tamu-chan, and it's not typically part of this, but it's been recommended by some of the people to give the players the option if they wanted to, because Gracklestug is going to be pretty heavy role-playing. Depends on how crazy you guys get. Maybe you guys turn it into a battle. I don't know. Assuming you don't and survive, does anybody have any interest of taking a side dungeon for about 2 to 3 game sessions? I don't mind. It's no extra work for me, and it's also no extra... I have no interest one way or another. It's just something I read a lot of people, like maybe to break up the traveling with a dungeon crawl for 3 or 4 games.
Hell yeah, I'm down for that.
I'd be down for that.
Especially
Let's do it up.
especially if that's like a rune or something that Indiana Smoke can jump into. He'd be down for that.
Would you consider it to be a ruin or abandoned?
You'll have to find out. Mal, Tasha,
Yes.
what do you guys think?
I'm down.
Yeah.
So basically, what it'd be is it's wrapped into the story. It's one of the writers of this, one of the rule guys. He said that he actually took it because people were asking. Yawning Temple, for those of you who haven't read it, is a collection of 7 mini dungeons that take you from 1 to level 20. Sunless Citadel is the first one. It's they're supposed to be considered the top 7 dungeons for their level range. So Hidden Shrine is supposed to be the best dungeon for the level 5 range in the last 30, 40 years of Dungeons & Dragons. And he said, this is a great place to do it. There's a lot of travel. There's a lot of random encounters. There's a lot of stuff like that island, moral decisions. And there's a lot of role-playing when you get to the locations. Obviously, you noticed when you were in Slubludob for 2 games, or a game and a half, there was a lot of role-playing. Well, Gracklestug is going to be more, and it's obviously a metropolis. Comparatively, Slubludob had a population of 500. Gracklestug has a population of tens of thousands. Much bigger, things going on. We'll leave it there. The idea is just kind of give you guys something else in a 2-year campaign, maybe a couple sessions of just smashing shit, puzzle solving, stuff like that. So if you guys are down for it, I will start the preparation on it for, I'd say, around end of July, August time.
Sounds fun.
Okay, so separately, the next thing, I'm not going to lie here. I'm not going to lie. In my prep work, I honest to God did not, and there will be other small dungeons and things you come across, which will be fun, but it won't be like a full-on dungeon crawl till then. But I'm not going to lie, dude. I didn't expect you guys to say, fuck those slaves. Former slaves just saying, fuck those slaves. But I want to mention this. I don't expect anybody to remember it, but I am going to go over this. Next game, and this is at the end of this game is where Hemeth is going to tell you guys that about midway you have 2 choices. You can take a 3-day detour, or you can go down what is commonly referred to as the Rapids. Most people will go down it. It's the fastest way to Gracklestug. It's not without its danger. It's optional for you guys. What it entails is it is what's known as a skills save challenge. You guys go into battle. You know, Ophelia uses the spell she has. She knows the spell she has. Kosjurkis. A skills challenge, if nobody's ever run one. Mal may have. I think Alex probably has. But I don't know. But in essence, it's a series of rounds and events where you navigate using your skills and saving throws and your choice of actions. It's a boat one, so you have options like, just to give you some examples, steering. You know, your boat's going this fast, you can try to steer your boat, slow your boat down, take a prepared action. You'll pass through areas that have, you know, various complications that you have to react to, and eventually the whole thing is accomplished by your skills and your saves, not your attacks. And if you want to do something unusual, use your magic, it's all up to you. It's like a different type of challenge. It is optional, and it is built into the campaign. So Hemeth is going to give you guys the option to go around it, add 3 days to your journey, or go through the rapids on your boats.
3 questions.
Go.
Hemeth, is this type of experience require a lot of heavy rowing, or is it more about the skill of directing it down the flow? What I'm getting at, is it more strength based or dexterity based?
It's more navigation based, but there are probably going to be things that you're going to have to deal with. There's various tunnels that have obstructions you might have to power your way through, but for the most part, it's navigation.
All right. Number 2, let's say out of 10, how many boats do you know out of 10 die, do not make it down the rapid?
That choose to go?
I guess, yes. 2? That's good odds. Okay. How many times have you gone down the rapid?
3 times.
How many times have you crashed and almost died?
Crashed every time. Every time the boat hits something.
No, I mean like you came out the other side all 3 times in a boat.
All
nobody
3 times.
dead.
Multiple people have. They've done it enough that they know what to expect. So all 3 times.
Sounds easy. No problem. Third question. Have you looked at Fergus's map?
What?
Hemeth, have you looked at the Fergus's map? The one with it's got the thing. It tells us where there could be an interesting place to look at. I'm just curious.
He has.
Yes, and then that is somewhere to get to, or no?
No. Number one, he doesn't go into the wilds of the Underdark unless it's on a boat. He believes the Dark Lake is safer. Number 2, once he gets to Gracklestug, he doesn't intend to leave again.
Gotcha. But so we need to go through Gracklestug to get anywhere near there anyways, right?
Correct.
Gotcha.
So that is your choice. Going around or going through. 3-day detour or down the dangerous rapids.
And if we do take the dangerous rapids, just approximately how many days left do we have? I can't quite remember.
If you get through the rapids and don't die, from there, at the end of the rapids, you'll have roughly a 2-day travel to Gracklestug. The rapids are coming up. You're going to have to continue traveling for a few more hours the rest of today, which is day 4. You will spend the entire day traveling, the 5th day traveling and down the rapids, which will leave you the 6th and 7th day.
Better to take the rapid route, no?
Okay.
I'm okay with that. Still mad at you though.
I'm okay with
I suppose we're good with that too then.
Okay, so I'm going to apply a long rest, which I'm not going to actually apply because I don't believe it's necessary, but I do need a medicine check from Rolen.
Come in.
At advantage.
Yeah.
All right, no additional mummy rot damage.
Yay!
Woo!
Let's get some wisdom saving throws from our fungal people. Boom.
Oh, thank God.
Nice.
And Kosjurkis decides it is time to dance. The Kosjurkis' new groove. And he dances for at least a couple rounds here.
You want me to roll for more saves?
You're more than welcome to see how long. Not being in battle, it's just a couple seconds before you come to your senses and straighten your robes and get back to minding your business.
Kosjurkis, perhaps you and Spirit should, talk about, maybe a buddy system to help each other, and then the rest of us will stand over here and talk about something totally different, okay?
Okay.
So, kind of huddling everybody together away from ear. Well, I know it's so damn close, but whispering away from Spirit and Kosjurkis. Okay, so first of all, did anybody ever see Sarah dance around like a pansy boy? No?
I call over, no.
guys,
Feline ears,
Spirit,
dude.
Yeah, I know, Spirit. I know. Just think about something else. Anyways, one thing we do not know the truth. Who knows? But remember, Sareth was said to have killed somebody. Just I am a little bit worried if one of our friends becomes no longer a dancer and more of a stabber. You know.
So you want to restrain them? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe not restrain, but we should have some type of plan in place so that if one of them, turns into Stabby McStabkins, we are ready to restrain them then. You know, like do we have like I could shoot them with arrow, but that would just hurt. No, I don't want to hurt them. I want to restrain. Do we have a means? You think, if need be?
I could see about picking up a spell that can help with that. I don't have one now, but
Mm-hmm.
I have shocking grab. No, I have poison spray.
Right. Okay, so
I
maybe
could probably get like entangle somewhere.
Okay.
I can kick them in the face until they pass out.
Right. Yeah, that's not really what I mean.
Yeah, I got entangle. I can just like basically restrain them.
Right. Okay. So let's just say I have rope, right? Anybody else have rope? I have rope.
I think I have.
Pretty sure I got rope.
Yeah. So if they get a little too stabby, maybe you entangle or whatever you're talking about. I really have no idea what you're saying, but entangle or whatever, yeah. And then we wrap them up until they feel less stabby.
Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, light suffocation, they'll pass out but not die.
Yeah.
Harmful.
Yeah, I guess that would do. Yeah, it's kind of again, I don't want to hurt them.
Yeah, that's not. I don't think that'll hurt them as long as you don't do it too long.
Isn't that against the best friends club motto? We are all friends.
Killing them is definitely not in the description. Light suffocation, I feel like if it's beneficial,
some light asphyxiation.
Right. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Now let me just ask you: should we tell them about this plan or no?
I feel like they can hear us.
I just kind of like turn to Kosjurkis and I just say kind of softly but still loud enough for everyone to hear, like, hey, if I just lose my mind, just do me a favor, light me the fuck up.
Kosjurkis looks up from like scratching Zrintara behind the ears and just okay.
Authorization to burn somebody?
Smoke's then gonna like pick up his little buddy. Grab his name. Stool. Yep. Pick up his little buddy Stool, and via that spore communication that we have, effectively just say like, is there anything perhaps you could do to help our friends? I understand that this fungus has little to do or nothing to do with you and your people, but via your spore communication, is there any type of way perhaps you could assist them when they come into this type of trance?
He can try. If they enter a trance, he can try to emit his spores to help them. He probably will need to be reminded. He's a young stool, but he believes he can at least give them a better chance, also known as advantage, on their saving throw.
Excellent. So, and then so like obviously not talking in Undercommon or whatever the regular group is. So, if we see one of our friends getting a little bit oofy goofy, we throw Stool at them, and Stool will use his forest to help, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I thought we should have a plan, you know?
Yeah, fair enough.
Also, Bopito, do you have the spore sickness too?
Bupito, as far as he knows, he does not.
Yes, but you sometimes get a little oopy doopy too, you know? No dancing, but you're sometimes very angry, you know?
He says bloodlust is not a disease. It is a passion.
Right, okay. Well, all right. Anybody else have anything they'd like to talk about, you know?
Still mad at you.
Rolen, remember, this was the best course of action for everybody. The best.
You keep telling yourself that. Not the best for them.
No, but also not the worst, you know?
I don't know. Anyways,
Well,
what are we doing?
anyways, so my intention, since this will be a unique, this will probably be about half of next game, maybe just an hour and a half. It's going to contain one or two unique concepts, not a whole lot, but I will instead be posting those on the Facebook page tonight, and it will just include some of the basics. I have a lot of papers on my desk, sorry. It will basically just kind of include what you can expect in terms of mechanics, and hopefully this will be an enjoyable game for you guys to have some fun stuff that doesn't involve just using your attacks. It'll be saving throws and skill checks galore. And I will post it on the Facebook page, but it is worth mentioning that you have options. If you want to do something unusual, you can tell me that, and I will give you this appropriate skill. But I don't want to start tonight. As I said, it's going to take an hour to an hour and a half, and I don't want to start in 40 minutes left. So I'm going to go ahead and end the game here, and then we will be here next week for the skills challenge. And then I'd estimate we'll probably get to Gracklestug, not next game, but the game after. So another 2 games of traveling, and that puts us at a total of probably 4 games of traveling before you get to Gracklestug. And that Ophelia picked up Actor for her feat. And so between that and Disguise Self, Roland's Polymorph and Disguise Self, you guys have lots and lots of non-combat options in the City of the Deep Dwarves.
Cool.
Your imagination is your limit. You guys have a good... You said you'll be here next week, Tanner?
I'll try to, yeah.
Alrighty. See you guys next week.
Sounds good.
Later.
Yeah, take it easy.
See ya.